here is a map of Kofa, and it really is a huge place. So right now we're on what's called King Valley Road, and the plan here, I don't know how far we're going to get, right? Because you don't know what you're going to run into. Lots of decisions about, should I keep going? Should I turn back? How close am I to getting through? But we're going to take King Valley Road, and then we'll turn up. And here's the King of Arizona mine, but actually what I want to see there is there's supposedly a graveyard, an old graveyard for miners and everything near there. And then we're going to come back down, and we're going to take this lesser traveled road kind of through a mountainous area to another mine down here. That's called Castle Dome Mine. And then back out to the main road, which this doesn't look all that far, but this is a huge, it's really a huge area. So we'll see, right? Do we get through? How rough is it? I'm going to camp out here. It's going to be cold at night. It'll be a big adventure. So let's do it. As promised, I have behind me the Kofa Cemetery. And don't really know why it's right here. The mine, the King of Arizona mine, is up in those hills over there, as is the old town of Kofa, is somewhere up in there as well. But a lot of that's still privately owned, so obviously I'm going to stay away from that. The Kofa Cemetery, which is over here, is publicly owned, and I'm told actually that the Forest Service comes out and tries to maintain this fence as best they can from time to time. And you can see it's a very beautiful place. There's a big butte up here. Let's take a look inside the cemetery. So the path coming in here is not especially well worn. I can see a couple marks. But actually coming up to this cemetery, I didn't really notice any like human paths or anything. So to get up here, you kind of have to know where it is. It's not like right on a road or anything. And seems like it's probably a place that is not highly visited, which is great, right? You kind of have to go through an effort to get here. And you definitely would need a four-wheel drive vehicle. A car's not going to make it. Most of the graves in here, I think, are going to be piles of rock like that. Another one over here. And I can see there is a grave marker right here. It's in Spanish, which is a problem for me, but something starts off as Paran Velocis, Honoras Pasan, something about maybe passing on. And that's probably the most obvious grave that I see just by looking around. It does have stuff over here too. Looks like 1880. Maybe, not sure the first name, Garcia. The 6th day of, I don't know, something. Also writing down here. Resurrendo a mi amigo, something. So I kind of wonder though about, if this one's been touched up at some point. For sure this part looks like that's not from 1880. You can see how thin, it's kind of chipped, but it's very thin. And that's somebody that's done that part at least more recently. Now there's lots of old wood just kind of laying on the ground here. Up here are some nice board markers, right? Still pretty stable. I can see there's a little fenced in one right here. So this must have been a very well-liked person, maybe an important person. They've carved this wood very carefully, and these posts are still in the ground. They're getting a little thin there. Looks like lots of little animal tracks through here. Circle of rocks for that person. And there's one other obvious stone marker, it seems. And that one says 1910, died. Can't tell what that is. And then this is a TM. Some more nice board ones here. So, definitely a very beautiful place out here. Not a bad place to spend your eternity, right? If you had to pick a spot out in the middle of nowhere like this, probably not a bad place. So, now it's going to be off to find a place to camp tonight. Hopefully it'll be a place as beautiful as this one. And then tomorrow, we're going to go visit Castle Dome. You can see the clearance on the front of the taco's not great, and we've got a huge drop off here of rock. So to me, that may not look like that much on camera, but it looks like enough so that we're not going to clear that. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to have to do a bunch of something like this again, and we'll see if we can even get back to where we were and get to Castle Dome the right way. Well, we've had some epic fails thus far on the journey. However, welcome to Castle Dome, otherwise known as Castle Dome City. And this was actually a mining town with many different mines around it. And today it's a tourist attraction. It's a very good tourist attraction for people who are looking to do things during a pandemic, because this is the kind of place that not only are all of the doors to these old buildings open with the wind rustling around outside, but of course these old structures also have lots of holes in them. So pretty well ventilated place here. And not too many people. I'm actually, I think, the only person here right now. So, what is it? Well, it's now a museum, a bunch of old buildings that have been collected from the area and moved here. A couple of original buildings and original items that were actually from this little town itself. But everything's genuine. It's from this area, from this mining district, and you can see all kinds of stuff. So, right now I'm in the old bar. And this guy looks like he's probably had a few. You can see one of the things you realize is that these old miners they used a lot of bottles and a lot of glass. So there's glass everywhere, and our friendly bartender. Well, not only can you use one of several real outhouses if you come to visit Castle Dome, you could also visit a real sheriff's office from way back in the Wild West. And even they have here the old jail cell in back of the office where if you're really getting out of line at that bar, this is where you'd end up spending the night. So how cool is that?